American Pickers star Frank Fritzs' judge makes major ruling in demand to seal health and financial records after stroke. Frank, 60, suffered a stroke in July 2022 and has been under conservatorship and guardianship since August of that same year. The U.S. Sun previously reported a notice of delinquency for conservatorships was filed on December 1, 2023 after guardian Chris Davis and/or conservator Midwest One Bank failed to file an annual report that was due on November 12, 2023. The American Pickers alum's conservator and guardian requested for the annual report to be sealed on January 17. Now, the U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal an Iowa judge approved the request, and the annual report and related documents are to be filed at Security Level 3. In the joint motion to file under seal previously obtained by the U.S. Sun, guardian Chris claimed an annual report for Frank's health and welfare has been completed. Conservator Midwestern Bank said they completed the annual report on Frank's real property and monetary assets. Because Frank is a well-known celebrity, the guardian, conservator and Frank all jointly request that the court allow the annual reports to be filed under seal to protect the protected person's privacy and estate, the court papers read. The 2023 annual report was filed nearly 2 months late, as penalties for failing to file the annual report include a report being made to the presiding judge, the fiduciary, i.e., being subject to removal. A report being made to the Chief Judge of the Judicial District and the Administrator of the Judicial Branch, and a report being made to the Committee on Professional Ethics and Conduct, which may result in disciplinary action being taken. This is the second time the conservator and/or guardian failed to file the proper paperwork by the due date. The U.S. Sun previously reported a notice of delinquency for conservatorships was filed on June 2, 2023. An inventory report was not filed by the due date of December 12, 2022. The report was filed later that month. The U.S. Sun broke the news that the conservatorship was filed in August 2022. The documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read, because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care without which physical injury or illness may occur. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. An exhibit was mentioned in the court papers from a doctor, allegedly confirming Frank does not have decisional capacity. The legal papers continued, decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. Appointment of a guardian and conservator is necessary to avoid immediate harm to him. The petitioner requested a separate longtime friend of Frank's, who has been assisting him in decision-making since the stroke, be his guardian. The guardian has helped Frank with his Crohn's disease treatment and continued physical therapy. He has also helped the former American Pickers star grocery shop, cook, and get him to any activity he feels up to doing. Frank has improved today, as his pal previously told the U.S. Sun. Frank continues to improve daily. You're never 100% after a stroke, but he's fine. He's aware of what's going on. If he was sitting here right now, you could sit and talk to him. He's the same old Frank. Frank was wheelchair-bound after suffering the stroke and even had a ramp installed outside his Iowa home. The friend shared, he can walk, but he's always going to need the wheelchair because he can't walk long distances. Basically, you lose motion. He lost motion. A stroke can affect your left or your right side. It affected his right side. Frank is a private person and enjoys being totally out of the limelight. The friend said the biggest misconception about Frank is his health. The source said, he's had a stroke, but he's definitely not debilitated to the point where he can't do anything or do whatever he wants. He doesn't have any problems with that. It's just a change of lifestyle and it slowed him down. He's the same old Frank. He has a good attitude and a great sense of humor. His mindset is positive. We crack jokes all the time. You gotta make the best of the situation, so he's come to terms with all of that. His mind is right, he's a happy guy and his sense of humor is there. He added that the conservatorship is temporary. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank's lawyer filed a will prior to death on October 11, 2023. The filing was made to safekeep the American Pickers star's will, according to Iowa courts. An Iowa judge has reviewed and accepted the will. Frank is estimated to have a $6 million net worth. Frank last appeared on American Pickers on a March 2020 episode. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank is unable to return to the show over 1 year after suffering the stroke. A source close to Frank told the U.S. Sun, the stroke affected his speech, so he really can't return to the show. But you never know, there is always hope one day. A second insider told the U.S. Sun, he can't come back and film, but the cast and show want him to. The show now stars Mike Wolfe, his brother Robbie, Danielle Colby and John, Jersey John, Soleil.